Hi everyone, it's Margaret here with 60 and Me. Well, here we are, beginning of a new year, January 1st. Hope that you're doing well, that you had a good holiday, and that it was what you were hoping for. I know this is a challenging time, and I think it's a time of reflection. And I honestly think there's no better way to start the new year than not with resolutions and even intentions, but to actually do a life review. Just to be so aware and grateful and connected to the things that have made your life beautiful. And to do this life review for yourself, you could do it in a way that you write down your thoughts and your progress throughout your life, or just the events that happened in your life. Or you can just do it for yourself in your mind. You can just do it as a meditative exercise. But I think it's a really powerful thing. I know actually for my birthday, I often do this. I often go to a quiet place and I just sit down and I just reflect on all the cool things that have happened in my life. From as far back a memory that I can pull from my mind to the very present moment. And I just find doing that kind of a life review on your birthday is super helpful for just feeling grateful for everything that you have. But let's talk about life reviews, because it's become quite a science and an art that a lot of people are doing, and there's counselors and people that help you with this life review process. And I actually think it's really fun. I think if there was an element of coaching that I would be interested in, it would be doing life review coaching, because I think that it's where you get the most juicy, fun, interesting things, and the laughs and the memories. But anyway, the first thing I think is to settle down. Find yourself a place where you can relax, turn off all your computer, your phone, all your devices. Go into nature. I always sit, in a park or by the lake, and just use that time to just go a little deeper. So find yourself, set the mood by finding a place that's perfect for you, and then just relax. Even as I'm talking about this, I'm thinking about the things that have happened in my life that I want to acknowledge and remember, but some of them are a little, they're a little bit overwhelmingly intense, and they're emotional, and they're part of who I am. So that's the first thing, is to just relax. Sit down somewhere comfortable, turn off all your devices, and give yourself time. I mean, I said, on my birthday, I always do this kind of fun review, but you could just do this over a period of a week or longer, and just maybe take it in stages. Find what works best for you. The other thing is to be honest with yourself. Be honest, be truthful, be accepting. Know that you are not perfect, that you never will be perfect, and that the things that you may be remembering in your life review might highlight and amplify that imperfection, but it's just not necessary. You don't have to do that. You just don't have to put yourself through that kind of pressure. And so I advise you to not only find a place to sit down, but find the right state of mind, a state of mind where you are, accepting of yourself, where you're not going to be judging, you're not going to be critical of yourself. And then just start the process. So what could be the first approach is to do a milestone approach, and do the approach where you're kind of looking at things in your life as you, things you did. You could take it as like a year in review if you wanted to do it like this. I mean, the life review doesn't have to be your whole life, but what have you accomplished? What did you do? What programs did you complete? What education did you complete? What choices did you make about the place you live? What kind of decisions did you make about the people that you decided to live with? Your partners and your friends, and use that milestone approach for a life review. Like, just take literally from the beginning of your life, and that at this age, this time, I had this decision to make, and I had that. I mean, for example, for me, after my mom died when I was 18, I we were in Detroit, and I decided to move west, and I decided to go to Boulder. And I went to school there, and I went to university there, and I lived there for 10 years, and I learned about book selling, and I was in a book selling job, and that was a big milestone, and that opened up so many kind of ripples of memories and things that happen, relationships and people and places and travel and education. So that was a milestone that I could spend quite a bit of time on, because it was like what's the word? Like, it filled in so many parts of my life. It sort of filled in connected so many dots. Another one for me was when I lived in, we moved from England when I got married, moved to England to the United States, and we had a decision to make about jobs. And I decided with my now ex-husband, but we decided to move together to Seattle and both take jobs with Microsoft. And I had another opportunity in Texas, which was my life dream, in the sense that I'd always wanted to do this job. This was my, it was managing a huge bookstore. And but we decided. And that was a milestone. It was a huge milestone. So I think that's another thing is once you've got those milestones, then it's the time to reflect. It's a time to reflect and to think and to, I guess this is where the hard task begins of, did you make the right decisions? Was that fork in the road the right one? Well, right or wrong? It was, where were the things that happen as a result of that? A marriage, children, a lifestyle and a commitment to new business and new technologies. And there were all kinds for me. Did you move? Did you move apartments? Did you move house? Did you sell a house? Any timeline will work for you, whether it's a milestone timeline or whether it's, like an age timeline, like just literally when I was 7 years old, this happened, 10 years old, this happened, 12 years old, and do it either way. But it doesn't matter which route you choose or which timeline you approach you take. I think in all of those scenarios, you can start asking yourself questions. I think some of them, I've talked already about forks in the road, things where you've made a decision to go one way or the other, and that's had a huge impact on your life. But another one is failures. Look at the failures that that you judge as being fails. And at the beginning, I said, don't judge yourself and don't. Even if you failed at something, you didn't get the situation the way you wanted it, you didn't get the relationship to work the way you wanted it, you still tried, and it was you in action. But if you did, in your opinion, not succeed at something that you really wanted to achieve, acknowledge that. In a life review, you don't just look at all the chirpy, cheerful, happy moments, the rainbow days. You look at the days where there was darkness. And I think in some ways, those are the days where you find out most about yourself. What were some of the habits that you picked up in your life? Just what were the moments that you made a choice? It's all about choices, isn't it? Even with the friends you make, the relationships you have, the places you live, it's all about choice. So what did you do maybe in your life that took you in a direction, maybe overeating or not exercising or whatever things you did that maybe you might consider you could have done them differently. I wouldn't call them failures, but there were things that you maybe did them differently. What were some of the things that you did that you now wish you hadn't, the past you hadn't followed? It's really, really powerful. I think the other thing to do is about lessons, about wisdom and learning. There's so much to a life review that I think I hope you're grasping the thing that I'm actually okay, you can do this lots of different ways, but the key thing is to look at the milestones, the timeline, the people, the decisions, the choices, and the actions that you took. That's actually the really important one. After that, I think once you've done that life review and you've been through all the relationships that turned either way or the decisions that took you in a different direction, that you then assess, where are you now? Well, it's okay. Assess your life now with one provision, which is, life wasn't meant to be perfect. It's not meant to be crystal clear all the way. But where are you now? What are you thankful for at the moment? What have you got in your life that you want to be grateful for? And what's the plan going forward? And I just think that this day in the year is a good one to start. Just not with a blank slate, but with a fresh approach, with a new mindset that says everything's possible. Everything is possible. Everything that I did, all the roads I took, the decisions I made may not have been, the perfect ones. But that kind of life assessment, I think, brings you to the present moment, which is hopefully filled with peace and calm, that you honestly have lived a beautiful life. And there's so much that you've learned, so much that you've done for others, for yourself. And it is your time now. Whatever is going on with us as a world, as a humanity, with you as an individual or as a parent or grandparent or whatever your role is that you're doing, it's going to be a brilliant year. You're going to do great. And whatever you do, whether it's the direction you think it's going to go right now or at the end of this year, next year, 22, looking back, it was meant to be, and it's all good. And thank you for being here. Thank you for being here in our 60andMe community. We try to cover topics that are going to take you forward and deeper and into a happier, healthier life in quotes retirement, if that's where you are, and moving forward as an older woman in this beautiful world. Take really good care, everybody. Sending you lots and lots of love and wishing you all the best for a fabulous, sparkling, joyful, hopeful new year. Take good care.